Arteta, I'm sure, will have been impressed with that. Let's hear his reaction to that 2-0 victory. He's with Des.
Mikel, that second half was what you wanted to see. You were waiting for a spark, really, weren't you?
Yes, in the first half we took the game where we wanted, but without really being a real threat and understanding how we had to attack that block well enough, and we lacked some composure in the final third to give the final ball better. The shooting, I don't know how many times we shoot, but we didn't hit the target at all. In the second half we changed a few things. I think we started already in a different way. Our purpose, our rhythm was much better, and we started to generate chances, and we managed to score 2, and obviously the game was in control.
And Bukayo Saka swapped flanks, it worked perfectly. It's a fantastic goal, actually, lovely passing move.
It was great, and that's why you need some creativity, some spark in that final third against that really low block. And once that happened, obviously the spaces were different, and we could score the second one.
And clever.
It's not clever, it's what he deserves. Gabi is a joy to work with. The way he trains, whether he's playing or not, he totally deserves a chance, and he's a goal threat, and what he's done today is not an easy goal.
Again, another lovely finish, his second touch. In the first half, we could see you urging the side to lift the tempo, to get going.
It was too slow. It's our first phase with our centre back. It was too slow, and we didn't have enough threading behind, and we didn't occupy certain spaces which they defended well without that. And once we interpreted that better, I think we started to attack much better.
Can I change the subject a little bit? You were talking about Arsene Wenger and the possibility of involving him here at the club. So there's many managers who wouldn't do that because they would feel insecure of a man with that presence. But it seems like
I think, me personally, everybody who works here and everybody at the club, what we feel towards Arsene is gratitude. Me, the first one, because if not, I wouldn't be sitting here. And what I'm saying is that I think he will enjoy to see at least being more around. I know he needed his space, but just being around and having the feeling of how much people love him, I think it would be great for him. And the rest, I don't know what is going to happen.
And there's plenty of knowledge in that brain as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. Imagine for me, with somebody that has been here 22 years, and I know him well, and yeah, time will tell.
Well done.
Level on points now with West Ham, still in 5th place, but 6 behind the leaders, Chelsea. And as Darren said, things looking really bleak for Newcastle. 13 games now without a win, 6 points from a possible 39, 29 conceded, which is prime relegation fodder. Well, we've got so much more to come.
A few chances when we've seen games with Newcastle this season where they've not even had a shot. So there's a little effect. Listen, it's a long, hard way to go, but there's little glimpses, and I'm positive for Newcastle.
A response, though, from Arsenal. Martin, much more like it from them in the second half?
Yeah, Saka man of the match. He was lighting up the place. Martinelli coming off the bench is a player that I really admire. Wonderful finish from him. So good story for the youngsters. But they made hard work there, Arsenal, but they deserve to win the game, of course.
In the end, Bukayo, it was a comfortable victory, but you had to wait for that breakthrough.
Yeah, we had to be patient. They defended really well and they made it difficult for us in the first half. And the boss told us at half time, we don't let them frustrate us. And I think we listened to that. And yeah, we got the goals and could have got more in the end.
Needed to increase the tempo as well, didn't you? But it was a fantastic passing move for your goal.
Yeah, it was a great passing move. I came over to the left and yeah, we played a few passes and then made a run, found myself in and just went for goal and scored. So yeah,
worked nicely. And Gabriel, was that your second touch in the game?
I don't remember, to be fair. But I'm so happy with the goal, even happy with the victory.
Yeah, so fantastic to make such a big impact. When you're given the chance, you want to take it.
As I always say, even if I play 2, 5, 10 minutes, I'm always ready to play and show something to the manager and to the team and for the fans as well.
In the first half, you created a few chances. Aubameyang missing an absolute sitter. I could see your reaction behind the goal. But what was the message at half-time from Mikel? Keep going?
Yeah, keep going, Like I said, they're going to try and frustrate us, with the deep block, but we have to keep moving the ball fast and, yeah, the chances will come, and they came and we took them. So, yeah, it's a good victory for us today.
And, Gabriel, everybody contributing now? You feel that squad, when you come on and score, that just lifts everybody, doesn't it?
I think this goal and this victory was everyone, not just me or B, that he scored the goals. It was everyone from the team, the staff and the fans, everyone made part of this.
Well done, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An instant impact from Martinelli off the bench, but Saka driving Arsenal forward in that win. He broke the deadlock, Joe, in the 56th minute. What did you like about the lead up to the goal?
Also, it's a fantastic build up. Linz, about 15, 16 passes. Here they're patient, but they're probing. If you look at every now they go outside. Smith Rowe's giving them width there. The ball comes back into midfield. There's plenty of movement going on. Saka makes an inside to out run, which drags Newcastle's defence apart. Then into Smith Rowe. Now this is a lovely ball. Just reverse it round the corner. And it was never in doubt when this young man was in that position because he's so clinical. He's such a good player.
And before the game, we were critical of Lokonga and Tavares, not picking the right pass. Well, they did it there, and they were patient. It was simplicity of movement, and then when you bring Smith Rowe in and Saka coming over from the right hand side to the left, he changes the numbers, and suddenly they're outnumbering Newcastle with it.
And it was Smith Rowe again and Saka, really the two driving that Arsenal team towards the finish line.
Well, they are outstanding talents, and as we know, Smith Rowe now in the England squad himself, they just keep getting better and better. Another one off the bench, Martinelli. It was significant in that interview there where he was actually saying, message to the manager. Boy, was that a message, because that is a dream goal that he scores when he comes on. But he really meant it. He wanted to. I love it when I see young players want to come on and make a mark instantly. And he's had hardly any football. But now he's firmly in the mind of the manager for sure.
Absolutely. Eddie Howe, knowing how much work he's got to do to try and turn things around for Newcastle. He did feel, though, they should have had a penalty before that second Arsenal goal. Let's bring in Peter Walton to see what he made of it. Peter, it looked like a clear barge on Callum Wilson. Why wasn't it given?
Well, actually, the law is quite specific on this occasion. If the ball is in playing distance, which it clearly was, then a fair shoulder barge or charge can happen on an opponent, and that's what indeed happened. If you look at Stuart Atwell here, he's racing through the middle here with the two players. Tavares comes across. Yes, there's a coming together of players, but it is shoulder on shoulder, and you can see it here, shoulder against the shoulder. Wilson is probably off balance, so he goes down very easily. But in law, that's perfectly allowed.
Pete, you said fair shoulder charge. I can see from that they've come together from the sides, and you say fair shoulder barge, but at the moment of contact from the Arsenal defender, the ball's actually bouncing up into Callum's sort of midriff, so he's not got it under control. It felt like a penalty to me, because Callum Wilson, if he stays on his feet, that's easier chance than the penalty kick. Look, the Arsenal defender's wrong side is desperation. He's leaned in. I mean, I understand the letter of the law, but I felt like it live on air. It felt like a penalty.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going with your gut feeling there, Joe, and that's understandable. But clearly the referee there goes with his gut feeling. He's down on the field with it. He sees the two players coming together. He feels it's a fair shoulder barge. He also feels that the ball is in playing distance, even though, as you quite rightly say, Callum Wilson's probably getting the ball under control. I think Wilson is off balance and he goes down far too easily, and therefore the referee then decides.
Peter, I agree there, Peter. The thing is, in the stadium, us here today, it really did feel like a penalty in that moment, and we do slow it down a little bit there for the contact so we can see whether the shoulder is alongside or behind. In the actual speed of it, and also there's a case that Callum Wilson is just moved across and slowed down, waiting for a bit of contact and held up a tad. So I think the referee can't guess in that situation. I think he's just about made the right call.
Yeah.
Have you changed your mind at all, Joe, after looking at it back like that?
My initial reaction was it was a penalty. Looking back and it slowed down obviously gives you a different perspective. And then you look and you listen to Peter and he's come and he tells you the rules. You're like, okay, I can understand why they didn't give it, but I'll be furious if I was Callum Wilson, because that's a goal for him. A player.
So this is real speed now there.
Yeah.
And that's when you think, is that a penalty? I mean, it's very difficult because the referee's not up to speed with that. And the VAR is only there if it's a clear and obvious mistake. And the referee hasn't actually given the pen.
If it was given on the field, though, Peter, would VAR have overturned it?
No, because, again, if you look at it the other way around, VAR is looking for clear evidence to overturn an on-field decision. There wasn't enough evidence there to overturn the original decision, and had Stuart Atwell given a penalty kick, there's not enough evidence there to overturn it in that respect too. So VAR would, quite rightly, kept out of the way.
OK, Peter, thank you very much. Newcastle as well were punished straight away, Martin, weren't they? After that, 53 seconds later, Arsenal got the second, and it was Gabriel Martinelli. I know you're a big fan.
Well, I mean, we talk about dream goal, awareness, intelligence of movement. Look at this delivery then from Tomiyasu, and the anticipation there of his time and space and execution of this finish is truly outstanding. Look, he has a little look there. He assesses really well, just adjusts his feet and just feathers it into the goal. He takes the weight out of that ball. I mean, it's beautiful the way it does. It just arrives onto his foot. I mean, it's perfect finish.
So, and lovely use of the word feathers from you there, Mike. That's a beautiful finish. I'm a big fan of this guy as well. Martin always, sings his praises, and every time I watch him, he makes an impact. He's out of that sort of that South American centre forward. He hustles and bustles. He's got great, and that finish. Scored a wonderful goal for Holland against England, and Martin told me that he wasn't at fault for it. He played in the game. He blamed Tony Adams, but it was a very similar goal because that is such a hard technique as it comes over your shoulder to get good contact. It's amazing.
You just have to admire it.
But all the time he's pointing to his shirt, isn't he?
Yeah.
Don't forget me. I'm here. I'm in the building, and that's what I'm capable of.
The reaction from the fans when he comes on is really, really positive, isn't
because
it? They really
things.
want to see more of him, it feels like.
I think he's only started 2 games. They were early in the season. He's come off the bench 4 times. They need to see more of him. That's his first goal of the season. When he first came into the team, he was exceptional, got a few injuries. So he's another one now who's knocking on the door for a first team place.
Well, Mikel